Hello and welcome. I'm Darren, and a while back I did a video, and the video was titled. Hold on, let me look. Let me check. Now I believe it was Console to PC Part 1. Now I did a video today, basically saying that I was putting together stuff that I already had. So at this moment in time, financially, it doesn't make sense for me to buy all the parts to build something. So effectively what I'm going to do is I'm going to run with stuff I have in the house available. I have quite a lot of stuff available. So effectively I've hijacked my daughter's RTX 4070. Now that is obviously being compared to the PS5 Pro. So I thought, considering that was something that was obviously being compared, that's ideal. So I'm running that, and effectively I had to find a system to pair it with that wasn't as powerful as the CPU in my daughter's build. She's currently running a 13600K, which would be way too powerful compared to what's available in the PS5 Pro. Obviously, it's also pretty power hungry. Now, what I did have available, which wasn't really being used, was a system that my wife was using. So effectively, she was using it for a while during the lockdown COVID era. As a work from home PC. It's something that I basically put together for her, and it was something that she didn't really need a GPU. So it's a Intel 11600K, which is obviously a fair bit older. Now, I've kind of asked the question, I've kind of looked at a few benchmarks, and I'm going to say obviously it's still a bit more powerful than what you're going to find in the PlayStation. I believe the 4070 is obviously still going to be a bit more powerful than what people are guessing. So this system is going to run a bit more powerful than the PS5 Pro, which is going to be obviously the most powerful console available. So it gives us something, it gives us a good guideline, because obviously those consoles are running at 4K. And this gives us an opportunity to run a system of a similar power, trying to output to a similar resolution, and basically see what we can do. And we can then make our comparisons to PC and to console. So this is where I'm at the moment. I'll quick throw it in. If we open up the NVIDIA app, we can check out in here, as you can see. So system, we're running on Windows 11. As you can see, we've got the i5 11600K. We are running 32 gigabytes of DDR4, 4000 I believe it is. And at the moment we only have there's just a 1 gigabyte storage drive in this. So I am going to be basically throwing on some games and then removing them and throwing some more as we go through the games. Like I said, I'm not about to start really investing any money in this build. It's a good enough comparison. We can make good enough comparisons from it, and it would be it wouldn't be a crazy. The 4070 is obviously a bit cheaper than the 4070 Super. Now, is this what I would build if I was moving from console to PC? No, probably not. I would spend the extra on the Super, or I would go for a 7800 XT for mainly the 16 gigabytes of VRAM, as we are running at 4K. Now, this GPU isn't really designed or marketed as a 4K GPU, but that doesn't mean that we can't make it work. So we will try our best to make it work. Probably the biggest limitation we are going to get would be VRAM, but obviously it's still these PCs aren't optimized and don't have the optimization probably available for me, even though I'm not restricted to what someone gives me on a PC. So when games are optimized to run on a console, they probably have more options available at the developer. But then you're in the hands of what the developer decides. So even though I probably won't have as many options available as a developer would have available to them when they make the decisions, I have my own decisions that I can make with the more options that I have available than you would have, or I would have if I was able to change settings myself at the console. So obviously I think most consoles you have obviously a kind of two performance modes, I believe, or certainly on the PlayStation, where you'll have obviously one which is a performance mode or one which is obviously more of a visual mode. Obviously I have a lot more available to me, but I won't have as much available as what maybe a developer would. So probably the biggest obvious thing for that would be, I have seen Digital Foundry talk about some of the ray tracing options that they use on the PlayStation. So in a certain game, they might only use reflections, or in another game, they might be only using shadows or something like that. Now, a lot of the time in your PC settings, you don't get to distinguish what you want in the way of ray tracing. You normally just get a low, medium, or high. Sometimes you just get ray tracing on or off. So there's not a lot of times in a lot of games you'll get the opportunity to turn off some ray tracing features and then only select others. So that's going to be like probably one of the biggest areas on a console where games can be, because effectively 4070 at 4K with ray tracing, or with the options that I have available for ray tracing, is going to be pretty damn slim. I don't know. There might be some games that we can do it. I'm not sure. We'll find out, basically, is what I'm going to say. We'll see what happens. So, as you can see, that's the system there. Now, this is the glaring difference straight away. There you go. This is the difference between console and PC. It's in your face. Now, this PC is set up to boot with no login. So when I turn the PC on at the power button, unfortunately I can't turn it on by a controller. So when I hit the power button, the PC will boot to here, which is my Windows desktop. Now I could also get it to, if I wanted to, I could get it to boot into Steam big window, and then I would have controller access if that's what I want to do. I'm not going to do that. It's not something that I want to do anyway, but I'm not going to do that because obviously at the moment I am using this PC to make recordings and stuff. So booting into something that I can control with a controller isn't something that I need or want right now. So if you didn't want to go down that route, there are other options. I have put a video of other options. You can get something like the Play Night launcher. Now that allows you to move your Steam library, your Epic Store library, your Xbox games, and all the rest of it all into one launcher. It is a little bit slow when it comes to launching games because it has to go through obviously a longer pathway to do it so. But you can effectively get it to, so you can do kind of what I've done here, which is remove the login, remove the pin, and you could get it to launch straight into Play Night, and then you could search through with a controller all of your games. And then from whether they're in obviously the Steam Store, the Epic Store, the Xbox launcher, any of the other kind of launchers, I don't think there's a restriction on any of the launchers. So you could use something like that. It's customizable. You can make it look like a PlayStation kind of launcher. You can make it look like an Xbox type of launcher. They're not the same, obviously, but they are, you can have a similar looking kind of operating system, or however you want to call it. So obviously that's the glaring difference. We're on a PC, we're not on a console. But in this video, I'm probably going to run through the reasons why the PC for a lot of people is the better option. And to be fair, those are probably, again, blatantly obvious. So straight away, the biggest thing, the reason that probably I was more enticed to go PC is Steam. So this is, if you're not, if you're new to this or you haven't even gone down this road yet, Steam is the biggest place where you're going to come and you're going to buy your game. So you set up, obviously, an account with Steam, and then you get a Steam store. And basically, the games that you buy from here will obviously, they go through Steam to launch the games. So I'm not quite sure what I was doing. I think I was looking at one of the Monster Hunter games. So we go to the homepage. As you can see, at the moment we have a sale on Sega stuff. So basically, this place is a gold mine if you're happy to sit and wait. And it's what I do all the time. And it's probably what we're going to probably try and do in this video. So the thing about PC is you don't need any type of memberships. So you bought your PC and you're done at that point. I think there's only really one game that I know, and it's because I do sim racing, that you have to have a membership, which is iRacing, which you can't play without a membership. I don't think anything else exists like that. So basically, at that point, you've got no monthly memberships. You're running for free, and you can then get into probably the good stuff. And you can start building a pretty big library. Now, a lot of it, admittedly, is first-person shooters, but if you want to go straight for your free games, and I have downloaded a few of these. So, obviously, you've got Overwatch 2, Finals, Lost Ark, Halo Infinite. Obviously, I don't even know what most of these are, but so CS2, PUBG. What else we got? Obviously, Call of Duty Warzone. You can play the Warzone part for free. World of Tanks is free. Let's have a look at these. So obviously, this is your kind of menu option, which will kind of give you the most popular. So obviously, your most popular played game at the moment is Counter-Strike 2. It's had more downloads than anyone else. Obviously, they give you your kind of rating. Stop doing that. I won't do if I scroll over it, but obviously this is giving you a very positive. Dota 2 is giving you a very positive. PUBG is giving you a mixed. Apex Legends. So I have downloaded a couple of these. Apex Legends I've downloaded. I haven't downloaded PUBG. I probably will. Now there's some newer stuff like Once Human. I have been playing that. That's a free download. What else we got? I've just set up The First Descendant. That was a game that I've been playing. That's a free download. Destiny 2 is a free download. The Finals, that's on a UE5. Mostly positive. I don't know. I think some of them... I'm very surprised that's mixed. First Descendant is mixed. I'm surprised at that. I've just been on there and had a quick look around, and there's a load of PlayStation players playing that game. So that's a good one for us to check out. So, yeah, there you go. Goose Duck. There's everything here. World of Warships, obviously World of Tanks, Lost Ark, haven't played it, don't know. Albion. Now, there's obviously games that are available for free here, and then there's games that are available for free. We'll go to another store, obviously, in a bit, because this isn't the only store that's available to us. Look, we've got Lost Goddess. Whoa. Very lusty. Obviously, my age is in over 18. does seem to be a lot of that at the top of the charts at the moment lately. So I don't know what's happening with people on PC, but there seems to be some people getting off on some cartoon naked women. Hey, who am I to judge? Each their own. However it goes. I don't know. I don't know what to say. So we'll go back to obviously the main page. So Sega sale at the moment. Now, to be fair, I don't really play a lot of Sega games. I don't really know what a lot of these are, but as you can see, you can get some fairly decent discounts. They'll vary a lot. So you'll get some games. I think one of them which has stood out to me is Starfield. I don't think I've ever seen Starfield have like a huge discount, and I don't know why. Because it's due a big discount from what I'm concerned. But for some reason, that game just hasn't seemed to have a big discount. So as you can see, we've got a big Sega sale on. Obviously, we can then go to recommend games from what you've downloaded. Why it's recommending some of those to me, I have no idea, but however it goes. Then we can go into specials. So obviously we've got our free games and we've got specials. So this will give me a list of stuff that is obviously being reduced at the moment. As you can see, we've got Cyberpunk down to £25. I just did download. It's running on my other PC, but American Truck Simulator, £4.22, bargain. Rainbow Six Siege at the moment, £7. It's not expensive, to be fair, in the main game anyway, but I mean, this changes constantly, so it's a bit awkward. I'm gonna admit that I fucked up. There was a big sale on PlayStation games, or PlayStation ported games, and I slept on it. I was going to download them today, and they are now no longer on sale, which makes me crazy reluctant to now download them. So I'm going to probably sit on it and wait for a bit, because some of them were a bargain and now I'd have to pay full price, which I really don't want to do. Now, the other problem I have is I'm region locked. There's a bit of a story to it. It's a little bit annoying. Basically, I live in Guernsey Channel Islands. We are kind of, if anyone doesn't know where that is, we are kind of one of the small islands off the UK, south of the UK. So we are in between the UK and France. Now, we are UK owned. That doesn't mean the UK really care about us, and they left us to the Germans in the war. Let's just say that. And to be fair, they don't like the fact that we are a tax haven. They want to shut us down. But the problem I have with with the region locked is the bank that I use basically now kind of locks me to Guernsey. Now, it used to lock me to United Kingdom, but it now locks me to Guernsey. So I was having problems processing in the Steam store, having a bank saying that I lived in Guernsey if I set the Steam store to United Kingdom. So the only way for me to get the region unlocked so I can play the likes of Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that is to set my location back to the United Kingdom, which then gives me a problem if I want to pay for the fucking thing. So unfortunately, that ship has kind of sailed at the moment. I'm not really sure if there's any way that I can go about it. I believe there is. Whether I can be bothered, I don't know. The annoying thing is, it's not with all of the games. So, for instance, God of War Ragnarok has just launched for PC. It's available through Steam. It will not show it to me because from what it's concerned, I'm region locked, so it will not show up in my searches. But God of War, God of War, the first game, is available for me to download now and play. I also have Helldivers 2 in my library, stuff like that. So Whether in time it will change, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, as you can see, now obviously the obvious thing is, again, if we are comparing to the PlayStation, or not so much the Xbox nowadays, the Xbox is, or saying that, I mean, as far as the console goes, I don't know. There's a lot of games, obviously, between PC and Xbox. They share a lot of the same games. If I wasn't region locked, I would be, obviously, anything that's ported from PlayStation, then I would have anything that is purely PC, and then I would have anything that is Xbox. So, as you can see, if we are comparing to PlayStation, I can download the Master Chief Collection for £8.49 now. So I'm not locked out of any games apart from the specific PlayStation exclusives at this moment in time, which gives me a hell of a lot of games. So again, I don't have the easy use of a console, but I have a hell of a lot available to me. So yeah, as you can see, I might play that actually. It's been a long time since I played Fable. What year was that? 2014. Fucking hell, 10 years ago. There you go. As you can see, is that the renewed one? It says 2023, so it must be. In fact, I might download that. 17. See, as you can see, this is like, it's awkward because it turns into a money pit. State of Decay. What's that? 2020 game. Okay. Call of Duties have just migrated to Steam recently, which is interesting. I had to go for a different launcher for Call of Duty. So again, there we go. We've got Titanfall's £3.74. So, it goes on and it goes on. Control, £6.99. You can build a huge library if you sit and just wait for the games to either go free or get them on a mega cheap sale. And it does vary a lot. So, like I said, obviously Control there at the moment is £6.99. Now, in a couple of weeks' time, that might be £2. It might be free, or it might go back up to £18, or it can be all over the place. So it's a bit of a lottery. If you're not getting it for free and you are paying for it, you never know. It might end up cheaper in a few weeks' time. Sometimes you might see it on sale and you might gamble, and then you might be waiting months to see it go on sale again. But you can go between the stores. So, as I said, obviously we're on the Steam store at the moment. Oh my word. Obviously, as I say, new and trending. Very positive. 93 reviews is Lost Epidemic 18+. Wow. I can show you that it's not a game that is in my library. Hell, there we go. So yeah, that's the Steam store. Obviously, library. Now, these are the games that I own through Steam. They are not all on this computer. They are across various different computers. So at the moment, I've added Apex Legends because it was free. Feed and Go Frisch is on here because my kid was playing that game. First Descendant we've got on there. Horizon Forbidden West we have on here at the moment. I think randomly Sea of Thieves is on here. I think my kid might have played it on here before I removed the GPU from this system. So anyway, this is your kind of library where you would get, obviously if you don't know PC, this is where you could go to launch your games. You can launch it from here. You'll do your updates from here. You'll see your achievement unlocks from here, so on and so forth. You'll get your time played. Obviously, this isn't on this PC. This is on my other PC, but you can obviously in total you can see I've got 71.5 hours of playtime. Admittedly, I do benchmarking and stuff like that, so I'd take that with a pinch of salt. That probably means that I've left it for probably about 10 hours just running in menus while I've been doing other stuff. But it's a really good game. I have spent some time on that game, so like I said, I will benchmark some of these games. We will go through some of these games, see what we can do with them, and then I will remove them once we've done that, and then I'll load on some others. If people are watching this and they're interested, let me know what you want to see. If it's a new game and it's crazy expensive, I might ignore you. If it's something that I can pick up and I can get it on a deal, then I'm probably more willing to do it. Don't take offense by that, it's just the way it is. Like I said, I'm trying to do this without spending crazy money. So that is the Steam store. So we also have, where is it? There it is, the Epic store. I generally tend to go between these two, and it's because I'm cheap. So if you have a quick look around, you can find deals, and one of the deals I found before was the Mafia. Now, what I probably should have done is there's the trilogy, and I would have saved money by doing the trilogy. This is interesting because it tries to tease me that it's going to let me play it, and then when I click on it, it tells me to do one because of the region. Go back. There you go. Interesting. So it wants to tease me into it. Now, Final Fantasy, I'm fine with. I can play Final Fantasy. I do have the demo. I haven't bought the game. So I think the demo ran just the same as what the game is. So if we want to, we can check that out on this system, see how that runs, see how we can set that to run up at 4K. But as you can see, this runs kind of like, it's not as good. There's not as much information. I don't use this one. I generally use the Steam store for as much as I can, but sometimes this is a good alternative. And if you want to run Fortnite, which is a game that I do play because I play it with the kids, so this is your Fortnite. If you obviously, if you want to run Fortnite on the PC, I believe you have to go through Epic to do it. I'm not sure if there's any. You can't do it through Steam. I know that much. I did actually buy Alan Wake on this, so I think maybe you have to buy Alan Wake on here. I don't think that's on Steam either. Rensport isn't on Steam, and the Assassin's Creed games are in between here and there. So I'm gonna guess that your Origin launcher goes through Epic Games. That thing drives me fucking insane, but it's another one of those things. I also have Hogwarts Legacy through here. Obviously, as you can see, these games aren't installed at the moment. Now, I did install that Mafia before because it was pretty low on space. I think it was only like a 60 gig download. A lot of games are like over 100 gig now, so I wanted to try that out. Now, I wasn't sure which one to go with, but that's what I decided. So, as you can see, very much like the Steam. So what you'll have here is your kind of top trending games at the moment. It doesn't mean that they're released. Sometimes there's a kind of, you can pre-release within these games, but these are your kind of top and trending games. And then we have our deals. So as you can see at the moment, we have Dying Light 2 on deal, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands on a deal, Borderlands 3 is on a deal, Ultimate Edition 75% off. Well, I've never seen, now saying that, that's the Chaotic Great Edition. Interesting. Goat Simulator, banging game that is. My kid loves that game. Remnant 2. So what I probably should have done is just bought the trilogy. and then they are selling them off. So got a Batman game, Deadman, Walking Dead game, Lords of Fallen. I have that on the Steam library, so I'm not buying that again. Gotham Knights, Batman, Arkham. So yes, there's like, now I was going to get the Mafia 3 because I thought that would be the newest. It'll probably be the graphically far superior and it will be much improved. But I kind of quick checked and it was a minefield of people saying the first one was the best, people saying the second one was the best, people saying the third one was the best. Now I believe that this is the first one, but I believe it's been remastered because it did give me a release date of 2020. So I believe that game was, the original game was long before that. It kind of said remade. So yes. So I believe this has had a graphical update. Judging by that picture, it kind of looks like it looks pretty good. Judging by that, it looks pretty good. So I don't know when the game originally released. I don't really know much about the game. But anyway, who cares? Because it was £7. So if it's shit, it's not the end of the world, right? But there we go. So again, we have a similar thing in the Epic Store. So as we scroll down somewhere, you'll find that they will throw up some games for free. I don't use this store a lot, so it's probably a little bit more difficult for me to figure it out. So top 3 play games. Where's the? They normally have a couple that they've thrown on for free. God knows. Nakara Blade Point is free. They normally do a couple of games that they advertise as their monthly free deals. But I'm clearly just scrolling past it and being dumb. Free games. Is this it? Those just look like indie games. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Normally they actually have like sometimes they can have some pretty decent games. Maybe this isn't it. So anyway, there we go. That's my kind of quick show around at the system that I'm running and some of the reasons that make PC maybe a better option for certain people. It won't be for everyone, but you can build up, like I said, you can build up a pretty big library and you're not restricted to obviously what you would be on a PlayStation. Obviously, like I said, the Xbox and PC libraries tend to go together. Now, there is obviously as well a Xbox, so if you have an Xbox, I don't know if this is going to work actually. I'm not sure if I've used Xbox on this PC, so I don't know if it's going to launch me into it. No, it's not going to. I'll have to sign in. But you can obviously go into your Xbox account and you can then use your Game Pass and you can download your free games. I think you can actually go through here as well. Oh shit, I'm not signed in here either. So you can go into the Microsoft Store. As you can see, included with Game Pass, you can download Frostpunk for free. Included with Game Pass, Microsoft Soft Flight Simulator. Now, the only problem that you might have with that is obviously you need Game Pass for a start, so that will give you the monthly subscription. And it's kind of a bit known now that some of the games that you play through Game Pass on a PC don't run as well as they would if you played them on Steam through PC. So sometimes the Game Pass games don't run that well on PC, so it's something that you have to be aware of. I don't know if people have been caught out with benchmarking games that they're running through Game Pass on PC, and they're getting wildly different performance than what they might be getting if they were running it through Steam when they're comparing it to other people. So now and then you do see people arguing the toss over they're getting far better performance on their PC with the same spec as what someone else is getting. Now, whether that's purely down to someone playing it through Game Pass versus someone playing it through Steam, it could be. It is known, people have documented it, they've shown it, so it is one of those things. Now, I won't run a game now. This was kind of a quick look just to show you that we are going to obviously use this system. I'm not going to build a brand new system. And it's a quick look through the specs. And effectively my first look into obviously the PC and one of the reasons why a PC could be good for you. As you can see, you've got a lot available to you in the way of games and a lot of ways of getting ownership of the games, basically. You can pay full price for them, you can pre-order them. I've been burnt on pre-ordering games now. I don't kind of think it's the right way to go. If it's something that you're really waiting for, you're really looking forward to, go ahead. I now see it as paying more money to play a game in its worst state. So I would rather wait from buying pre-orders now, because generally once the pre-order's gone, you tend to then in a couple of weeks time get the game at a well reduced price, and it actually plays decent because it's been fixed from the shit show that it was when it launched, when you would have paid an easy £20 or £30 more just to get a couple of days early access, which didn't really work out because the game was crashing and it was a shit show. So that's kind of where I've gone from. Now, that's my opinion. Obviously, each to their own. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. And probably tomorrow night we're going to run through a couple of games. I won't sit around in them too long, so we'll probably try and do a couple a night, and then I'll get those games removed, and then we'll go through a couple of others. So we'll just launch into the games, and we're going to obviously target 60 FPS at 4K as a minimum, and then see what we can go above that. Now, obviously, on the newest demanding games, 60 FPS at 4K is still going to be a push. We are going to be using upscalers, and we will have frame generation available for us, which we will use, but you're kind of looking at getting a 60 base at that point anyway. But we don't want to be trying for any type of 30 FPS or anything like that. We're going for 60 FPS minimum, and then we're going to try and see, can we get it still looking good? What would those visuals compare like to a console? How far we can drop down till we start kind of looking a little bit off. But if we want some performance, each to their own. Some people might not really care that much. So that's what we're going to do. So if you liked, give me a like, please. It would be good. And I will catch you in the next one.